So often in spiritual teachings, ego is judged as sort of bad, you know. That's the bad part of us, the part that gets afraid, that doubts, that is insecure, that's caught up in history and wounds and grievances and so forth. And often in spiritual teachings, you know, there can sort of be an emphasis on that's just your ego, right? Just get over it. Well, if only it were that simple. I haven't found that perspective very helpful. So easily we can talk about ego and essence in a dualistic way, as if ego's bad, we want to get rid of that, and essence, oh good, we want more of this, right? But what if we flip it from either or to surface and depth? Take a breath and just notice how that feels as you consider all parts of your stream of experience as holy, including your ego experience with its patterns and defenses and hurts and wounds and fears and sense of separation. What if that is more the surface aspect of your experience, but that the depth of that same experience is the divine? From the deep non-dual perspective, there's nothing but God. There's only God. It's spoken of in the Sufi tradition at the heart of Islam. La ilaha illallah. The Sufi intonation of that means there is nothing but God. Right? That's congruent when we really see into the depth, when we really explore anything, even an ego not of anger, as someone who's upset. Who's really upset ultimately? Okay, we might see there's a child who's really hurt and upset and bent out of shape about something that happened that didn't feel okay, that was scary or overwhelming or unkind. And when we keep seeing that and meeting that and opening towards that, we see that that child, even with its upset, is a soul of God, is a holy being. The very substance of your being and my being and Donald Trump's being and everyone's being is nothing but God. Oftentimes it's God who is completely ignorant of who and what it really is and who and what everything and everyone really is, and therefore is running around creating a lot of trouble, behaving in a way that isn't very elegant, let's just say. But that doesn't change the fundamental nature. And so this is a really important philosophical underpinning of this work that I really invite you to take in deeply, because it will change the way you work with the totality of your experience. If at the very core of any experience you have, it is ultimately the divine, ultimately pure being, ultimately God, experiencing, experimenting, then what that means is that all parts of you are holy, and that all parts of your experience have the capacity to bring you into more depth, more love, more peace, more meaning, more wisdom, more humanity, and make you more awake to what's real and what's true, and help you live that way. So this methodology is really full-on mystical, but it's also passionate about not bypassing, and really being fully human. And so what that means, dear friends, is that where you are right now is the gate. So what's really important is not that you try to reach to have some lofty experience that someone else is talking about, thinking, oh, that's the right experience to have. Bullshit. Where you are, right where you are, is the gate. For you, in this moment. Rumi beautifully said, be as melting snow. Wash yourself of yourself. Of course, when we observe melting snow, we see that the melting really happens by the warmth of the sun. It's not a forcing, it's not an aggressing, it's really the natural phenomena of contact from warmth, loving presence, unconditional allowing is spacious but warm, isn't it? And it lets transformation happen. The hard, dense block of ice, and let's face it, when we are caught in our ego defense or in the perspective of being a young child who's hurt or upset or confused or scared, right? And we are sometimes in those places. It's not like we have to hack away at that or try to get somewhere else. We want to contact our direct experience unconditionally. This is ego relaxation, contacting our direct experience, the feelings, the sensations, where we are, not our thoughts about where we are, which is what most people are doing. It's not about your thoughts, oh, this is what I think I feel. No, what is your direct experience, the actual felt sense, the feeling, the tone, the sensations that might be shaky or hot or tense or tender or spacious. Lots of time. Those things will help you to get more intimate with just your direct experience in this moment and letting it be, opening, softening, allowing your direct experience, whatever it is. This is how the washing yourself of yourself happens. In a way, you don't do the washing. It's the mystery of grace. It's the natural dynamism that happens. But what ultimately happens is the ice reverts back to its original substance. So ice looks very different than water, but it's the same substance, isn't it? So your ego is still part of the substance of divine being or God, only just happens to be kind of frozen and dense, opaque, bound in a more dense condition. But that doesn't change that its fundamental nature is always and only divine being. So what this invites you to is to really embrace the totality of your experience, whatever it happens to be in any moment. To relax the tendency to judge your experience as right or wrong. Compare your experience as spiritual or unspiritual. Regard the gate deeper into accessing more of your deeper center, knowing your depth, yourself, your source, what's real, through just being here, opening, softening, allowing this. if we open, soften, contact, allow what's here now, without commentary, without right, wrong, good, bad, just let it be, things start to flow. Insights come. Essential qualities start bubbling up. You see, one of the interesting things that I find so beautiful about reality, that I know as grace, is that it always is optimizing. It always brings online what we actually need in that moment to address where we are and our situation. And it will be different in different moments. So I'm going to remind you many times to just wiggle your toes, sense your feet on the ground, butterfly your knees, rock your pelvis, come out of your mind, drop in to this here now, and get curious. What is here now? What is alive in my direct experience? What if I go towards that with curiosity to see, what is this? What is this really where I am now? And who is this? That will take you a very long way.